Hello everyone, welcome to Donny's World and to Kickass and Wellness Wednesday. Now, I'm going to get straight to the point. I started Donny's World in March on Fridays to discuss everything and anything, politics, TV shows, emotions, the human condition. And then I decided in September, on September the 12th to be precise, to start a second show on Wednesdays, which was specifically targeted at self-improvement. That is, improvement of myself and improvement of, for anybody out there who also wanted to work on themselves. And the reason I did this was because I noticed that the Friday show was so full of regrets about my weight and other problems. And so I thought, you know what, let's take this thing about making Donu better to a different space where we can concentrate on it and leave the Friday slot for more general things. Okay, so on the 12th of September, I posted my vital statistics, which is my measurements and my weight, because weight loss is my biggest challenge. I've been obese for, 5 or 6 years. It feels terrible. I'm not happy about the way I look. I'm not happy about the way I feel. I have joint pain. And I'm also very concerned about the health implications. Things like heart disease, stroke, dementia. There's so many things, medical conditions that get worse if you are fat and just don't even happen generally to people who are slim and in good shape. So mental health is also one of my preoccupations on this channel, because really the two come together. Unless you've got yourself into the right mental space, you're not going to be able to move forward with physical improvements to your body. And if your body's in terrible condition, then it triggers off depression and other ways, forms of mental health impairment. So I gave you my statistics and I said, okay, from now onwards, I am going to steadily improve. You're going to see these numbers coming down. I think I was 140 kilograms then, and I fully expected to lose about between 5 and 10 kilos every month thereafter. But guess what? Well, discipline is one of the problems that obese people have around food and drink. And I made progress initially, but those of you who followed me from the beginning probably noticed that after, about a couple of weeks, I stopped updating you on my measurements and my weight. And the reason for this is very simple. I wasn't making progress, and in some weeks I was even gaining 1 or 2 kilos. So it was embarrassing, and I just conveniently pushed it aside and stopped talking about it. I'd talk about my fatness, but I wouldn't go into details about how heavy I was. So I decided I'm going back to scratch. I am going to hold myself accountable to you, my viewers, and to anybody who cares about my health, which there are many in my world. So many of my friends or relatives are very concerned. So I'm posting my current measurements up on the screen for you to have a look at. And then every week, without fail, even when the main topic is not weight or weight loss, we will keep you posted. And of course, there may be some weeks when I don't make progress or weeks when I go back. But if I'm highlighting my failures or the times when things are not moving forward, I think I'm more likely to make progress than if I hide the numbers from you and just pretend they don't exist, okay? So I think I've said this a few times before. I have absolute respect for all forms of weight loss strategy that have worked for different people. There's the Mediterranean diet, the Atkins diet, there's keto. There's so many different forms of dieting or fasting. Or should I say, there's so many forms of dieting, and I respect them all because they've worked for some people. However, my preferred method is fasting. I belong to a fasting community that follows an American doctor called, or Canadian actually, North American, called Dr. Jason Fung. And the beauty of fasting is that it's very flexible, very versatile. You can fit it around your life. You can do a few hours a day, a few hours a week. A few hours a day in the sense of maybe only eating between 10 and 2 p.m. or 12 and 6 or 7 p.m. And then there are people who are doing much longer extended fasts and getting excellent results. Now, the mistake I have always made is that I'm an extremist. So I've always wanted to be one of those people who could fast. Ever since I gained weight, I've always wanted to be one of those people who could fast on weekdays and eat at weekends. And maybe even do more than that. I mean, there are people in my group who fast for like 30 days, and don't tell me it's dangerous, because some of them are in excellent shape and have benefited from something that is triggered specifically by fasting called autophagy. And it has all kinds of, ramifications that are positive. A lot of people have healed lots of different medical conditions, or at least improved and mitigated them through fasting because of autophagy, and that's my preferred method. If you don't agree that it's healthy, you just need to go online and read Dr. Fung's stuff or watch Dr. Fung's stuff, and then maybe you'll become a convert like me. But the mistake I've been making up till now is I wanted to be a super faster, somebody who can do it consistently for long periods of time and get quick results. But sadly, I've not been able to do that. I'm just not strong enough. So I've done what somebody once described as making perfect the enemy of good. So in seeking perfection, I've failed to achieve anything at all. And I think, kind of one thing wisdom teaches us, and maturity, is that little steps can lead to excellent results, even if the process is slower than you would like it to be. If you refuse to take baby steps because you want to be that person who takes the giant step and does the heroic thing, then you're probably going to wind up with nothing, which is exactly where I am now, okay? So, I want to mention my fasting coach, Rue, who has helped me get over this mental block about doing things gradually. And she said to me, recently, instead of always trying to do the long fast, the stricter fast, the one that will work more quickly, why don't you just try and fast every other day? It's called alternate day fasting. And so that's what I'm just starting now. We're at the beginning of December. Actually, I tinkered with it last month, but now I'm going to be really focused about it. Every other day, like you eat on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and you fast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and you carry on like that. And of course, being human, there might be the odd week or day when you fall down. But the main thing is that the main trajectory must be forward. Any failure or slip up should just be a temporary blip. The main theme of your life should be moving forward, onwards and upwards. So that's where I'm at now. And I just thought I would mention that I'm sure we've all read about Ozempic, Mounjaro, Saxenda, Wegovy, Zepbound, all these different weight loss injections that are so popular and are changing people's lives as well. I mean, they seem to be highly effective. And, some of my friends have said, look, Johnny, you're over 140 kilos. Fasting is great if you believe in it and you know people it has worked for. But don't you think that you need help? And that the quickest way to make progress is to try these weight loss injections. And they'll give you a really good head start. And then you can, when you've lost 20, 30 kilos, maybe, because I need to lose 60. So when you've lost 20 or 30, maybe you can go get down to fasting. Maybe you can even do a bit of fasting while you're on the weight loss drugs, because they suppress appetite and they make you stop thinking about food all the time. They have a mental as well as a psychological as well as a physical impact. So yeah, friends, family, not everybody are urging me to try weight loss injections to speed things up and get me out of the danger zone quickly, because at 65 I really can't afford, according to my sister, I can't afford to sort of like do this slowly. I've got to do something fast before I drop dead. So what do you think? Do you think I should become a devotee of weight loss injections, or should I stick with Rue and the natural way of doing things, bearing in mind that even fasting has some side effects in the short term anyway. So, I must confess, I've tried it before. I tried Ozempic earlier on this year, and I've got Manjaro in my fridge. But the question is, should I commit to it? Or should I have one last try maybe at doing things naturally? Looking forward to hearing your opinions about this topic, and thank you very much for tuning in. Okay, so we've come to that part of the program where I pick out a few comments from viewers who have been kind enough to respond to the videos from the week before or previous weeks. And I'll start with Patricia Wask, who's one of my regulars. And I just want to say, she talks about what she did with her family and what she cooked for Thanksgiving last week. And I want to apologize to Patricia and all my American viewers. I was so busy complaining about Kamala Harris's defeat in the election that I forgot to say Happy Thanksgiving. Last week was a very special week for Americans, and I think it's Thursday was a very special day specifically. So hope you all had a fantastic time. Patricia certainly did. I'll just tell you what she cooked. She cooked roasted turkey herb stuffing, sweet potato casserole with crunchy chopped pecan topping, green bean casserole, turkey and giblet gravy, mashed potatoes, black cherry and walnut jello salad, cranberry sauce, French dinner rolls, which she baked herself, along with homemade pumpkin pies with whipped cream, and she also had mimosas with her family, drinking very chic cocktails, and then Chardonnay white wine in the evening. So she had a whale of a time, but it came at a cost. She toiled and toiled to squeeze all this cooking and arranging in with her work, because she has a job. She runs a business. And now she's completely flat out. She says she's physically exhausted. And by the way, all that effort, it took her family 20 minutes to eat all that food. And she's exhausted and lying about like a beached whale. And she says her back is sore and her legs feel like rubber. And I'm glad you had a fantastic time, even if it took a lot out of you physically. And thanks again for your usual positive comments and encouragement, because last week on Wellness Wednesday, I talked about walking for miles and miles and miles in Venice, Italy, where I went on holiday with some friends. And Patricia says some really nice things about me. She says I have superior intelligence and I am a superior and intelligent life force. Yay, thank you. And she praises my determination in Venice, where I struggled, despite my weight, to move around with my friends. So then I would like to move on to another Patricia Russell. And she's calling in from South Carolina, USA. Happy Thanksgiving in arrears, Patricia. And she talks about how, I gained weight because I was put on medication after a very traumatic experience. I was on the medication for 3 years. And Patricia Russell has also been on medication, though she didn't tell me what for. And she says she also gained weight while she was on medication. But the thing is, the difference between her and me is that once she stopped the medication, she lost 20 pounds in 5 weeks. That's right. Amazing. Whereas the weight I gained when I was on the meds seems to be stuck with me forever unless I kill myself to get rid of it, It's so unfair, Patricia. I wish, I remember thinking when I stopped the meds, oh, thank God the weight will go now. But it didn't. It's still here 5 or 6 years later. So, well, what can I tell you? And then I'd also like to thank GLC Tony, who's 71, watching from California. And she says she likes my authenticity. And she says she finds my videos quite helpful. And I'm glad you think I'm authentic, GLC, because I am a professionally trained broadcaster and journalist. And even though, basically, I want these videos not to be like professional broadcasts, but like straight from the heart to anybody who cares to listen. So I'm glad you like that real, that authentic feel. And then Emma J Music, thank you for the usual kind comments. Very grateful. Don't forget to tune in on Friday for Thank God It's Friday. Or if you're too busy on Friday, next Wednesday, I'll be back for Kickass and Wellness Wednesday.